psychological health or mental health of a woman. What do you mean by psychological health of a woman? It means emotional well-being or absence of any mental disorder. From a perspective of a psychologist, it means that you are enjoying your life at a time. You are enjoying your personal relationships. On the other hand, a mental disorder or mental illness is an involuntary psychological or behavioral pattern that occurs in an individual is thought to cause distress. It means that some thoughts it may cause distress can be considered as a barrier to psychological problems. Factors determining the psychological condition of women. There are many factors which determine psychological condition of women, like the social factors, economic factors, etc. Major life transitions such as pregnancy, motherhood, and menopause can create physical and mental stress for women. Negative life experiences such as infertility, that means the lack of ability to bear a child, perinatal loss, that means miscarriages, poverty, discrimination, violence, unemployment, and isolation are some of the reasons which causes psychological problems in women. Depression. Some of the situations that can contribute to anxiety and depression in women are caring for or supporting others. For example, if a lady becomes mother, she has additional responsibility to look after the child. As a daughter-in-law, she has to look after her parents and the in-laws also. Relationship breakdown. It can happen at any stage of our life. So that also affects our psychological well-being. Violence or abuse. Violence in any form, physical, emotional, or mental, all these violence will lead to psychological problems in women. Discrimination based on sexuality or gender identity. As all of you know that in a family itself, son is preferred more than a girl child. This is the condition. This is called a son meta preference. This is the condition prevailing in almost all the patriarchal society in the world. Infertility and perinatal loss. That means loss of a child. Pregnancy, having a baby and becoming a mother. Because becoming a mother will create additional responsibilities in a woman. Menopause. Now we will see what are all the symptoms of depression. Feeling of sadness. You are very sad. All the time you are feeling that you lost something. Loss of interest in all activities that you enjoyed previously. For example, reading, walking, talking to friends. So now you don't have interest in any of this. Weight loss or gain. This will lead to overeating or undereating. Some people will eat all the time and some people will not eat at all. This leads to weight loss and weight gain. Loss of appetite or increased appetite. Insomnia or sleeping problems. Sometimes people will not be able to sleep at night. Confusion or memory loss. This really affects their day-to-day life. They would not be able to remember where they kept their key, whether they switched off the fan, whether they switched off the light. All these things affects them. Lack of concentration. This point is extremely important in the point of view of a student. If you have depression, you won't be able to concentrate on your studies. These are the signs of depression: feeling depressed or feeling sad, loneliness, don't showing interest in anyone's, less social interaction, not talking to friends and family. All these are signs of depression. Types of depression. Seasonal affective disorder, which only affects people during certain months of the year. For example, winter. During the time of winter, the environment is very cool, cold atmosphere, so people feel depression. Bipolar disorders causes highs and lows in personality, such as being overactive for some time and being underactive for some time. Sometimes they will be very hyperactive. 24 hours they will work. At sometimes they will be very low, show very low interest in activities. Postpartum is a condition that affects mothers after childbirth, thought to be caused by hormones. This is a case in which a lady delivered to a child and now facing depression. Persistent depressive disorder is a severe case of depression that lasts for more than 2 years. What are why women are affected more often than men? What are all the reasons for this? Genetics. By birth itself, women are prone to more anxiety and depression than men. Chemical imbalances in your brain. Environmental issues such as abuse, violence in physical and mental form, poverty, neglect, hormonal imbalance, alcohol. Now, treatment for depression. Therapies such as psychotherapy, interpersonal therapy, cognitive therapy, or light therapy. Physical exercise like walking in the morning and evening, jogging, doing meditation, yoga, doing breathing exercises, all these can help to reduce depression in yourself. Now we will discuss anxiety. As all of you know that many of us are facing this problem. Anxiety disorders are real, serious and medical conditions that need specific attention. Just as real and serious as physical disorders such as heart disease or diabetes, anxiety disorder also need to be diagnosed and needs treatment. An estimated 264 million people worldwide have anxiety disorder. In the past year, prevalence of any anxiety disorder was higher for females. It is almost 23.4%, whereas in the case of males, it is only 14.3%. The term anxiety disorder refers to specific psychiatric disorders that involve extreme fear or worry. Sometimes people will fear about their death. Sometimes they may fear about their loss of job. All these causes anxiety. Generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder and panic attacks, agoraphobia, social anxiety disorders, selective mutism, separation anxiety and specific phobias. Now we will discuss signs and symptoms of anxiety. Feeling nervous, irritable on edge. Most of the time they will be having very low profile and they will be very irritable in nature. A slightest provocation will cause them to react. They will react, sometimes they will react violently also. Having a sense of impending danger, they fear that in the future they may face some danger that can be life threatening also. This is the thought that is prevailing in their mind. Having an increased heart rate, their heart rate will be always higher than the usual. Their breathing will be very quick. They will inhale and exhale very quickly and very rapidly. Feeling weak or tired. Lack of concentration. They won't be able to give focus on anything. Now we will discuss types of anxiety disorders. Generalized anxiety disorders. It includes excessive anxiety and worry about ordinary activities or events such as health, family, money, or work. In the case of work, they will always have that fear that they will lose their work. They will become unemployed. In the case of money, they will always expect some financial crisis is coming. In the case of family, they will expect breaking of relationship, separation from the loved ones. Obsessive compulsive disorder is a mental health disorder that affects people of all ages and occurs when a person gets caught in a cycle of obsession and compulsion. For example, people will have the habit to wash their hands regularly. Whenever they touch something or whenever they do something, they will wash their hands. because of the fear of getting attacked by the virus and bacteria. They will always wash their hands and they are obsessed to it. Panic disorder is diagnosed in people who experience this spontaneous and unexpected panic attacks, and they are preoccupied with that thought, because once they experienced a trauma, they always experience feels that they will face the same danger in the near future also. Post traumatic stress disorder is a disorder that develops in some people who have experienced a shock or some dangerous event. For example, when tsunami attacked coastal areas of India, people developed this anxiety problem because they saw this traumatic incident, natural calamity, and they lost their loved ones. The dead bodies floating in the coastal area created a trauma in them. So it led to an anxiety disorder. Whenever they see a high tide, they think about it and they feel very anxious. Treatment. Treatment options and resources are usually the same for women as men, with the exception of women who are pregnant or maybe getting pregnant. It means that physical condition are very important when you go for treatment. Sometimes if a lady is pregnant, she cannot go for a treatment, she cannot take medicines. Next, we will discuss stress. Stress is your body's response to the daily events that occur in your life. Everyone experiences stress. Some people will experience high level of stress, some people will experience low level of stress. But an optimal level of stress is always good because it will energize us to do activities and to achieve our goals. Chronic stress builds up so that stress seems like a normal way of life for some women. Oftentimes, women are so busy that they do not take time to think about how stressed they are because of the negative lifestyle. Symptoms of stress: physical, headache, difficulty in sleeping. Sometimes they won't be able to sleep at night. Feeling weak or tired, pain, commonly in the back and neck, overeating and undereating. Sometimes they will eat too much and sometimes they will not eat at all. Skin problems, drug and alcohol misuse, lack of energy to do something. All these are problems. Emotional, anxiety, depression, anger, unhappiness, etc. Mental. Forgetfulness, worry, can't make decisions, always thinking negative about ourselves and others also. Occupational, work overload, long hours, tense relations, and poor concentration. Social, less intimacy with others. They don't want to keep relationship at all. They wanted to be in an isolated position. They wanted to be in a reserved state. Family problems, loneliness, spiritual, apathy, loss of meaning, emptiness, unforgiving, doubt, guilty, and disappointment, despair. What causes some of the stress seen in women? There are many causes of stress. Men and women share many of the same sources of stress, such as money matters. Financial crisis will lead to stress in both men and women. They will feel insecurity. Job security. Sometimes both men and women who experiences job loss or a threat of job loss, they will experience stress whether I will lose this job or not. Health and relationship issues. Perhaps a little more unique to women are the many roles they take on. In today's society, women's role often include family obligations as a mother, as a daughter-in-law, as a daughter, as a wife. All these are family obligations. Caregiving for children and elderly parents and work responsibilities as well as other roles they have to do in their life. How does stress affect a woman's health? depression, and anxiety. As I told you, women have high rates of these conditions and other psychological disorders, including panic disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder, can happen in women compared to that of men. Heart problems. Stress increases blood pressure and heart rate, and it leads to cardiac problems. Sometimes it will lead to cardiac arrest also. Headaches and migraines. Tension creates headaches and migraines. Obesity. Some people will eat more. When they are stressed, some people will eat more. This leads to gaining more body weight. How does stress affect women's health? Bowel problems, pregnancy issues. Sometimes people will not get pregnant because of the stress. Menstrual problems. During the time of menses, if a lady is experiencing stress, she may experience severe pain. How can women better manage stress? Physical. Doing exercises regularly can help a woman to manage stress. Walking morning and evening, eating healthy food, yoga, meditation, all these helps to manage stress. Emotional. Express your emotions. Talk to any person who understands you. Repeat positive emotions and re-emphasize positive thoughts. Always have a positive self-esteem. Mental. Have a positive outlook, realistic thinking, and a very creative, positive attitude. Occupational. You set goals which can be attainable. Don't set unattainable goals or very high target because that will create anxiety in you. Social. Strive to maintain loving relationship, establish healthy boundaries in relationship, and be connected with the family and friends. Talk to them. Be approachable to others. Spiritual. Find our meaning and purpose of our life. Now, I hope all of you clearly understood psychological health of women, factors affecting health. As all of you know that today is the anti-suicide day, prevention day. So approach your life with a positive attitude. Enjoy your life. Thank you so much.